Hi, it's Eileen, and today I'm going to be going over Log 5th grade lesson 10 worksheet. So, I'm going to be going over number 1, 3, and 5 for the first one. It says, round to the place value of the underlined digit. Use a number line if necessary. So, if we look at number 1, the underlined digit here, it is 0. And it's in the 10th place. And if we look at the number behind 0, it's a 6, which means we round. So it's going to be 0.1. Because numbers 5 or above, we're going to be rounding them. If it's below 5, then we don't round. And 6 is above 5, so we do round. Number 3, we have 0 underlined here, and 0 is in the 10th place. If we look at the number behind it, it's a 4, which means we do not round. So number 3 is just going to be 1. You can write 1.0, but they're the same thing. So I just suggest you to just write 1 like that. Number 5, the underlined number here is a 1 in the hundredths place. So if we look at the number behind it, it's a 9, so that means we do round. So for this one, it's going to be 1.02 as our answer. Moving on, it tells us round to the nearest 10th place, then hundredths place if possible. I'm going to be going over number 1, 3, 9, and 13. Number 1, it gives us the number 0.15. So it tells us to round to the nearest 10th place, then hundredths place if possible. And we see here that it is not possible to round to the nearest hundredths place after, since there's no numbers behind 5, which is in the hundredths place. So we're only going to be rounding to the nearest 10th place. So 10th place is where 1 is. And if you look at 1, behind it is a 5. So that means we do round. So this is going to be 0.20 as our answer. Number 3, it gives us 10.91. So let's look at the 10th place. And we can't round to the hundredths place either because there's no numbers after 1. So if we look at 9, it's a 1, so we don't round. So we just leave it as 10.9. Number 5 gives us a number 9. It gives us 5.001. Let's look at the tenths and hundredths place. They're both zeros. Let's first look at the tens place. We look at the tens place. Behind it is a 0. So it's just going to be 5. And this is going to be the hundredths place one. And we see it's a 0. And behind that 0 is a 1, which means we don't round. So we just put 5. Like earlier, it'll just be 5.0 or 5.00, but we just put that as 5 because there's always a decimal place behind a number, and that means there's zeros, many. But that doesn't matter, so it's just 5. Number 13, it gives us 0.451. Let's highlight the tens and hundredths place. Let's first round to the nearest 10th place. So we look at 4, and we look at the 5 behind it. It's a 5, that means we do round. So for 13, when we round to the 10th place, it's going to be 0.5. Let's look at the hundredths place. If we look hundredths, it's a 1. That means we do not round, so we just leave 0.45 as our answer for the hundredths place one. Lastly, it says solve the word problem. I'm going to be going over number 3 with you guys for this one. So let's first read the word problem. It says, in a class, 4 of the top students, student 1 through student 4, have the following respective grades: 99.28%, 99.44%, 98.59%, and 98.86%. Number 3, it tells us, what are the students' grades rounded to the nearest 10th place? So I'm going to be highlighting each, so it's easier to know which number I will be doing. Okay, let's start off with the green one, which is 99.28. So 99.28, tens place is a 2, and we look at the number behind it, which is an 8. So that means we do round it. So 99.28, if we round that to the nearest 10th place, is going to be 99.3. 99.3%. Next, the blue one, 99.44%. We look at the tens place, we see the hundredths place, which is a 4. So it's just going to be staying as 99.4%. The yellow one, which is 98.59%. We look at the 10, which is 5. Look behind it, which is a 9. So that means we do round it. So when we round it, it's going to be 98.6%. 6%. Lastly, the black one, which is 98.86%. If we look at the tens place, it's an 8. Behind it is a 6, which means we round it. So it's going to be 98.9. Don't forget the percentage. And that's the answer.